Well, hello and welcome to this webinar from Clearvision. We are an Atlassian Platinum Solution Partner, and it's my pleasure to be able to talk to you today. My name is Mark Roke. I'm the Technical Product Manager here at Clearvision, and it's my absolute pleasure today to talk to you about Atlassian at scale. And this is where we're going to take a little closer look at the varying offerings that Atlassian can provide for their solutions. That's cloud, server and data center. And as part of this process, we shall find out a little more about each of those and which one's possibly best suited for yourselves. So before we get going into the innermost secrets of data center and cloud, etc., just want to spend a few moments just taking a quick look at Atlassian themselves. Atlassian as an organisation, they were founded in 2002 in Australia by Scott Farquhar and Mike Cannon-Brookes, and that business has seen some incredible growth over the years. And if we just take a look over our shoulders for a moment or two, back at 2016, I'm just going to give you a bit of a high-level overview of just what Atlassian have achieved up to that date. So at the end of 2016, Atlassian had over 60,000 customers, 60,950 to be exact, which is a phenomenal customer base. And during 2016, experienced revenue in excess of $457 million, which represented a 43% revenue growth for that business. Other high-level figures, 95.3 million free cash flow. That's incredible. And if you look at the cumulative sales on the Atlassian marketplace, they too were in excess of 150 million. So that's quite an impressive set of numbers for a business. But like most businesses, they all start with a single product, and that indeed was Jira for Atlassian. Jira, as an interesting factoid, comes from the name Gojira, which is the Japanese name for Godzilla. But Jira itself isn't a tracking tool to track the progress and evolution of reptile creatures. It is, of course, a project management tool, and it's aimed primarily at making the agile working practices easier and more effective and more available to organizations. Now, Jira has a product, comes in 3 distinct flavors. We have Jira Software, Jira Service Desk, and indeed Jira Core. Jira Software is designed primarily for software teams, and it helps delivering best-in-class agile tooling, best practices, with some great integration between the tools that come into that development environment, with a real focused project experience for the entire team. Jira Service Desk, on the other hand, is a purpose-built solution aimed directly at IT teams. This is a tool that helps them get more productive and be responsive to the ever-increasing demands of users within an IT environment for a business. And then finally, there's Jira Core, which is a purpose-built experience for teams, and it extends Jira's fundamental workflow capabilities with specific templates for business teams. So this is taking those principles of Kanban, etc., out of the development environment and placing it into other departments within your organization. So it's a very versatile tool. But Atlassian, like a good many companies, didn't just rely on that single product. They branched out and developed quite a number of tools, as you can see on the board there, and I'm sure some of them are familiar to you, and we shall briefly touch on Confluence and Bitbucket as part of this webinar. But the whole idea behind this suite of tools was to make a collaboration experience and make you achieve your results a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently using the tools that integrate well and give you that end-to-end experience. Still staying with Atlassian at the moment and the growth, this graph just gives you an overview of how their growth has developed over the years, and with their number of users increasing, it's tied in nicely with some very significant announcements along the way. So, you know, Atlassian Cloud, they're coming out in 2012, and then data center starting to hit the streets in 2015. And this is where we could start now and really get into the main crux of our webinar today. And I want to talk about cloud versus server and the difference between two. Cloud is a name that gets thrown around an awful lot in the IT world, and server is something that we often hear, and it's the big box that sits in the corner of the office or in the IT suite, etc. But what does this actually mean when Atlassian say cloud and we say Atlassian server? Well, if we break this down, Atlassian's cloud solutions are essentially SaaS offerings which are located on Atlassian's own servers. So it's hosted in the cloud on an Atlassian server itself. The server editions allow you to have your own installation located on your own servers, be that behind the firewall or maybe within your own cloud on dedicated servers. It's as simple as that. And each offering has its own advantages, which we shall look at in a few moments' time. But for larger organisations, it's more common that a server environment is recommended. But before we go into this, as I say, in a little bit more detail, let's go over the tools that are available for each of those offerings, because there are some differences between the two. So if we look at the cloud, you've got some core set of tools, and this is usually aimed at like smaller environments. So you've got the core there of Jira, Confluence, Portfolio HipChat, and Bitbucket, and a number of add-ons there. That's purely for that cloud environment. But if you have the need for more of the Atlassian toolset, then you should really be considering the server offering. As you can see from that list, the server build from Atlassian gives you full access to the entire Atlassian catalog, and perhaps most noticeably is the number of available add-ons that are supporting that server environment. But again, it depends on the size of your business and what it is that you are experiencing, and how well you are growing as an organisation will determine to you which offering to have. And there, as I say, they are pros and cons of both, but it's all about you. Why should you choose cloud for your Atlassian tools? Well, to summarise that, it's good, but there are a number of features that you'll only get if you opt for server. Features that are beneficial, if not necessary, in an enterprise situation. Okay, so why choose server? These are just a few of the features that come with a server implementation. It's the level of control in implementation, licensing and so on that makes server so much more easier to scale. As your organisation grows, the limitations of cloud may become more apparent and become more stark to you. So again, it's about the size of you and what's right for you as an organisation. So let's take a little look at these points a little more. Let's talk about security. Everybody is always concerned regarding security around software, and so you do need to think about this particular area. And for Atlassian Cloud, it uses SSL, which is secure enough for most users. But in an enterprise and environment, and the governmental scenarios, something like that, server can allow for greater specialized security measures. And with the server, you control where it's hosted, you're in charge of backups, etc. It's completely within, literally completely within your domain. But it's something that you shouldn't ignore. Security is very, very important for any software solution. Another aspect to consider with regards to your tooling is licensing. And with regards to cloud versus server, you can very quickly buy cloud licenses using a credit card. It's up and running very quickly, it's on demand, it's great for those smaller teams. although there is a cap limit of 2,000 users, and even before that point, this licensing could get a little bit unwieldy as you start and grow. With server, you can only acquire and purchase your licenses by way of a purchase order, and this is done annually. But this model certainly suits larger organizations better. Licensing in this way is more efficient, and you'll be able to more easily arrange renewals and get a clearer picture of who has what, and you'll get access to more deals, etc. Again, scaling is also important. The 2,000 limit of cloud could be a major roadblock for large businesses, but the server licensing arrangement is geared towards that size of organization and fits well with that size of business. And I mentioned add-ons there earlier, you know, the 200 for the 2,000, sorry, for the cloud, for the server, and 700 for the cloud. Here are just a few of the add-ons that are available, and there are many, many more, which you go and see on the Atlassian marketplace, covering a vast range of the Atlassian toolset. But so here's are just a few. We certainly haven't got time to go through each and every single one of those, but please do go check out the Atlassian marketplace. So that's a lot of the pros around those offerings. Let's just focus just a wee bit on some drawbacks of server, and you would need to pay attention to admin support and upgrades. So is there a cloud hanging over server deployments? Well, as we keep saying, server offers a number of advantages, but you do need to consider those 3 points we have there on the slide. For smaller businesses, this might not be as cost effective, and this is where the cloud comes in. At the enterprise level, though a greater level of control is needed, these are necessary part of implementing IT systems. There's always the admin, there's always the need for support and upgrades. But regarding this, you don't have to do it on your own. As an organisation, ourselves here at Clearvision offer services that will take away the pain and the headaches of deployment, integrating training and support. You know, a customer will get the full benefits of a server without the fuss. So we can offer all these things here, that flexible support, bespoke and standardized training. You know, training is offered out of the box, but we can tailor our training to suit your business need. And it's always good to constantly review what it is that you are doing within your business, how you are developing, how you are growing, and that's where our consultancy comes in, because we can help take you on your journey and make sure you're getting the best out of everything that you have. And there's much, much more that we at Clearvision can do, so it's certainly worth having a conversation with us at your earliest opportunity. So, where next? What's next? Well, like a good many, I'm sure that you want your business to grow, but the success that can bring this, as you scale and grow, it can bring its own set of challenges. And as you grow and you get bigger, you may find that your IT implementation is being outstripped by the demand of your users, the demand of your market space. And so from cloud, you can move to server, but if you are scaling through at such a pace, are you going to be outstripping server? So where do you go from that? Well, this is where data center comes in. And the data center is the next level of Atlassian toolset deployment. And currently, the solutions you can see there, Jira Software, Service Desk, Bitbucket and Confluence, they are the tools that are available in the data center. And these are the core tools, though, if you want software designed for enterprise scale scenarios. And this is where Atlassian can help take you to that next level. So what is data center offering? Well, high availability is a key piece, and when it comes to high availability. We are talking about what is known as active clustering. And this is taking a cluster of multiple active servers to make sure that users have an uninterrupted access and service to Jira software in the event of those unexpected and unrequired hardware failures. Distributed load. This is to use from using any form of load balancing technology and hardware or software to intelligently distribute the demands across your data center cluster, so allowing for that continuity of service. Redundancy, what are we meaning there? Well, data center platforms integrate with industry standard technologies for this database clustering, sharing file systems to minimize those single points of failure, those things that actually cause the most pain and disruption to a business. If you can't access your system, you feel paralyzed. Data center does everything it possibly can to avoid those unpleasant and unnecessary situations. Performance at scale, kind of an overarching theme to what we're talking about this morning. Increase concurrent user capacity. Well, each node in your data center is how you set up a data center. The node in your data center cluster increases capacity for your concurrent users without sacrificing performance. The more people you have using your system, you will not see a degradation in how your system performs. This is one of the benefits of the data center. Application resilience, so increasing that application throughout to avoid performance degradation. If there's load spikes, etc., as I say, the more users that come on, there will be no difference in the level of service that's coming on. It'll be a smooth transition. Users will not know that there's many people using the system. And for the highest quality of service, dedicate nodes for automated tasks like reporting or integrations to make sure that you get the highest possible quality of service for your critical teams within your organization. And this is about having dedicated servers and clusters within your environment to run those day-to-day tasks. So separating that out from other maybe high-performing, high-demanding needs of your solution. And this is the key one really, the instant scalability. So hassle-free deployment, you can just add new nodes to a cluster at any time. Existing nodes automatically synchronize plugins with each new member. So this is as you grow, you can put more power into your system and gain capacity instantly. Rapidly scale the capacity of your Jira software data center without downtime. Downtime is a killer for all organizations, but with data center, it just happens seamlessly. And getting back to some finance side of things at the moment, predictable costs. Data center is licensed by user count, not by the number of servers or CPUs. So you can scale an environment without additional license costs. You know indeed what's coming. And this is one of the other advantages of this, the data center being deployed on another platform like Amazon Web Services comes with all the benefits of both data center and AWS. So you've got that instant scalability, that quick setup, and that trouble-free administration. And this diagram sort of highlights a high level rather of the configuration and setup and how quickly this can take place for you. And of course you can find more information on the config and setup of AWS and data center at the Atlassian website. But there's just an example of how quickly it can be done, and usually about 30 minutes to get this environment set up, saving you time, effort, all the way. So how much does all this cost? Well, priority is about getting the right software solution set up in the right way for your business. But of course, cost is still a major concern within any organization. Cloud and server may be cheaper and maybe less expensive, but are they actually suitable for the demands of your business? So here's an example for a pricing structure for Jira Software Data Center. For those of you in the academic area, that pricing is different, but choosing the right level is vital. So it's certainly worth getting help with this. And this is where ourselves at Clearvision can help you. We can understand precisely what it is that you need and help you get the best possible deal possible. So you are spending your money wisely and getting absolute everything as you possibly can and getting that best return on your investment with the Atlassian set and indeed Clearvision. So, where else can you go? Well, we've covered off a few points at an exceptionally high level at present, but Clearvision offers a range of information to help. You can certainly find out more on how to meet the challenges of performance at scale, as well as other aspects of ITSM and DevOps. And there's just some of the white papers that we've produced, and they're available there at Clearvision-CM.com. So please go and check those out. Okay, so whilst I've been talking away, a few questions have come through for me, which is always the way on these webinars, and I'll try my best to answer as many as I can. I have a few here. First one then is coming through with regards to Jira, and the first question that I'm asked is how can we get onto Data Server for Jira? Well, first of all, you'll need to make sure that you've upgraded your current Jira to the latest version, and then quite simply follow the installation guide from Atlassian. We would advise that you perhaps contact your Atlassian expert for that handhold and guidance and best practice needs, and certainly Clearvision can help with that. But it's a very, very straightforward process. Just make sure you've upgraded to the current latest version of Jira. The question here, what about the marketplace add-ons? Which ones are supported? Well, we touched on that briefly in the webinar a few moments ago, and as I'm sure you know yourselves, there are many add-ons out there, quite a number certainly for server, as we saw there, 2,000 or more. The best advice I can give there is for you to go to the Atlassian marketplace. Each add-on is clearly identified as to which areas of the which platform that they support. So that'll be my advice there, is check out the Atlassian marketplace and look for data center or cloud or server support. Question here, technical one again. What load balancers or balancers should we use for data centers? Which are the best ones? Which are most compatible? Another good question. It would be very wrong to outshine one above another. There are several solutions out there, but the basic advice I would give here would be to identify a load balancer that supports cookie-based session affinity. Sadly, I don't have time to dive into what that actually means right now, but again, plenty of information up there on the Atlassian website, or indeed contact your Atlassian expert to guide you through on that one. Question here regarding Confluence. Oh, this is the good one. What about when it fails? How easily can we recover data center installs? How quickly could I get my Confluence back up and running? Another great question. And it's much the same principle actually across all of the tools, whether it's Jira or Bitbucket, etc. The best practice by Atlassian, or the recommendation is to, when you set up your data center, is to have a second instance, and we'll talk about Confluence specifically as what was just mentioned in the question. So have a second instance of Confluence set up as a standby system, and then you would have to set up what is known as a replication process, which would help you keep your data in sync. So you'd have your live system, which then is pushing that data over to the standby, and make sure that's running efficiently, because in the event of a failure for whatever reason, you wouldn't want your systems to be out of date in terms of the content. So if it's continuously replicating, then you should get that all sorted. So yeah, have a second instance as a standby, set up a data replication process, and make sure that the clusters that you have within the environment are set together. And then I could go on for quite a while explaining this in a bit more detail. But again, like a lot of these things, probably best if you spoke to somebody, your Atlassian expert. Call us at Clearvision. We can definitely take you through what is needed on that kind of data recovery, disaster recovery scenario. But again, with the data center, the whole idea behind that is to give you that continuity of service. But it is fair to say that, you know, things can go wrong occasionally outside of all the measures you put in place, but there's certainly process there to help recover. And finally, I've got a question here for Bitbucket. What's the key advantages of using Bitbucket on data center? Well, I appreciate that we haven't spoken too much about Bitbucket as part of this webinar, mainly on Jira and a little bit about Confluence. But again, with all of the tools that are offered within the data center piece here, it all comes down to those same 3 points for what the data center offering is. So it's about performance at scale, high availability, and instant scalability. So it's that piece about no matter how many users that you have using Bitbucket, etc. As your business grows, the more users you have in place, there will be no difference or noticeable difference at all in performance for you. You can grow very quickly, add licenses very quickly and easily and seamlessly to the environment. So it kind of just follows the same suit and very consistent across all of the tools. Well, everybody, thank you so much indeed for attending the webinar and listening to me talk. I hope you found the session of interest and of use. And if you have any other questions or concerns, please do contact us at the email address there below, inquiries@clearvision-cm.com, or call us on 845-459-9530. And please do check out the Clearvision website for more information. So all that remains for me to do is to once again say thank you very much for your time. My name's Mark Rowe, Technical Product Manager for Clearvision, and it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today. Thank you very much indeed.